Hey, what's up, Bob? There you are. Uh, Question. So you are trading the market with prop accounts, etc. How long have you been trading the markets? I thought you've been maybe I got you mistaken for somebody else, but I thought you've been trading for 20 years or so. Um, but maybe that's not the case. Annual, monthly. I see. Annual. What are you paying right now? Me, no, 2 years. Well, good job because well, I mean, at least you're posting your when you're winning. But are you profitable? You post a lot of great good days. Are you breaking even? Are you ready to quit work? Fantastic. Oh man. And so you've been doing the what do you call it? Withdrawals. This is something because maybe we should do like a interview with the success story for a TikTok or something. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, man. How much of that? I mean, I'm going to save a bunch of questions. Let's do a little interview. Would you like to do that sometime? And I was asking you, are you traveling? You were the one who I think is traveling, right? No. Okay. Here's all right. How old are you, Bob? I had this impression that you were older, but maybe yes, 59. Wow. This is what you've been looking for, huh? No, it's well, yeah. My dad is I think 79 or something. He's up there, my stepdad, and he's in the hospital right now in induced coma, recovering from a botched surgery, removing a tumor from his nose. Botched surgery was such that bleeding wouldn't stop. And so they had to do further surgery, and for the recovery, they put him in an induced coma. He's coming off of it now, but it's very uncomfortable. He's like trying to pull the tubes out of his mouth and stuff, and he's a real trooper. And fuck, right? Fuck. I will not look forward to those days. But they're gonna be out there. Take care of ourselves. Eat something along the forms of keto and intermittent fasting and whole foods versions. Stay away from bread, sugar, carbs, processed foods. Keep it whole. Diet good. And then on top of that, exercise. And because I saw a chart once which showed sort of this like graph of how your health was taking care of yourself earlier in life and when that caused you to be like in a wheelchair by the end of your life. And people who exercised daily and ate good nutrition and everything never even ended up in a wheelchair. 90s plus, no wheelchair, none of that shit. People who didn't, they were hitting wheelchair in their 70s. I mean, the graph, it clearly showed that sort of like how you treat yourself is how you end. It's going to be reflective of how it ends for you. And mortality, if you're in those situations, you're getting bed sores or whatever the fuck, and falling becomes life threatening, so you extinguish sooner. So yeah, you know everybody treat yourself real well. But anyway, that's great, Bob. Let's do a little interview on that. I don't know, in the next couple of days or even today. I don't know. Whenever we're sort of what do you call it? Um, Available, fucking excited to do it, and everything. Uh, Not much to it. We'll just have a little private Zoom, or maybe, what we could do is do it with just the members, like a members only little discussion about how that can work. I have so many questions about that. I want to ask you right now, but I'm going to hold them because the more spontaneous, kind of realistic answer. And can you do like a video chat so we can have you on video and you can have a nice background and stuff you can set up for it? Okay, cool, man, cool. That's gonna be a really nice story to tell. We're not even going to talk about whoever else just tuned in. We're not even. Is that Marcus? You have to tune in to find out. By the way, class tonight, you guys. I'm gonna let everybody know to come in here because we're missing our main people here. I fucking am just killing it with these credit spreads technique. Um, Calling a top yesterday, but only I have like 15 positions. Let me go live. Hang on. I want to talk about this again for a second. This is very interesting, at least to know that it just continues to work out. All right, doing live. Boom, bam. Okay, might as well go live on TikTok too. Then fuck it. Oh, I have to remember. I'll watch a TikTok or something, and someone will swear, and like in my eyes, and I'm all for just like shooting the shit and talking the way you're supposed to, you who you are, being who you are. But it just doesn't matter. It seems like the minute somebody swears in a TikTok or something that I see, to me, in my mind, the impression, it might not be real, but the impression of their credibility like goes down. I think the impression, it's just not a good impression. So I don't know. I'm gonna try less cussing if I can, just because it just becomes an extra barrier. It's like we don't need people, jumping through hoops to find out, whether I'm full of shit or whether I'm trustable. If I start off with credibility notched lower, that's not something that I want between a new relationship with somebody. So I want to try and clean up the lingo. F that. That's great. Or at the very least, cut out those particular ways of talking from everything that ever gets posted. But the live streams, maybe, we can shoot from the hip and all. But anyway. So, good morning, everybody. It's 9:07. And so this is very interesting. Check this out. So, yesterday, all this week, I've been bullishly selling put credit spreads on a bunch of stocks, like 15 of them, including the market. And because the market rallied, all of them are so far above those break-even points, so far above that it's nearly a sure thing that all 15 of those are going to close out at 100%. Maybe I'll have to cut one or two of them, but they're predominantly positive. And so today, all that theta of 15 positions is going to dump on me again in the morning, just like, here you go, and the theta right now on just some of those positions is $2,000. And so just $2,000 is going to go, just even though the market came down. That's what I love about them. Okay, so now check this out. So then yesterday we recognized a market topping action, a island top gap up and island top reversal. Kind of took a while for it to settle in, but it did. And so I did get a positioning. I positioned on the market, so I made money there on the Qs and SPY on 0 DTE options. But then I also went through all of the stocks that I had long and some other stocks that were big on the day, trading big volume, and maybe that were at the end of an extended run. Any of those which showed dramatic reversal signs would probably be the ones that would also help feeding the reversal in the market itself, and therefore they're semi-leaders in the turnaround and the topping. And so is my thesis on those, that there would be good shorts. And to go short, what I did is I sold credit spreads, up high. So it's like they're never going to hit that by the end of the week. And it was a midweek trade too, so it's only 2 days till expiration. One more day left now. Well, check it out. like if we go over to let's say Netflix, I'm not sure about this, but let me just go as an example. Yeah, this great example. I think it's a great example. Netflix. I did not do that on. Why? Because yesterday it was so green and showing relative strength. And guess what? This morning it is up higher. So you wouldn't want to do it on Netflix, right? But what I did find was like NVIDIA. NVIDIA had a turnaround quality to it, a nice drop, right? And in addition to where it closed yesterday down, which worked out for me, and that trade is now at 46% profit, it's down more in pre-market. You see how it works. So if you pick the right ones, but here's another one I picked, Crowd, and I'm long in it. I'm long in Crowd and making money as it comes down because now I'm also short in Crowd. And then sure enough, yesterday, I made Crowd got up to we have 18% profit on that to 100% for that position, and now look where it's a gap opening way down. Do you have any idea what that's going to do to that spread? It's like it's probably going to turn 70% profitable this morning, just instantly. Like all those Greeks just get sucked, out. And then here's another one, ZS. But you see down here in the bottom left that topping action, and look where ZS is opening. Again, same problem. Big red day topping action yesterday, and now down even more pre-market. I mean, they're under a lot of pressure, and all it has to do by the end of the week, and I can close it out early if I need to, but all it has to do by the end of the week is expire under where I sold. So like for instance on this one, Zscaler, I sold the 190 call. And look, 189 is where it topped out. So long as it doesn't make a new high by the end of the week, and look where it is now, boom, boom, it's way down there. Could happen, I'm gonna have to cut it if so. But if by expiration it stays below there, the theta just keeps pushing into the account. And what's crazy is on that crowd trade, I'm short and long and making money every day. How can you do that? Normally with stock shares, that's called boxing the trade. You'd need two accounts. You'd have to short and long, and you can't do it. It would just lock up the trade. It would just basically you wouldn't make any money. It would freeze your positions. This, I'm making money on both sides. This is crazy. Crazy. This is like a secret weapon, you guys. Selling credit spreads. And then Lulu is another one. Let me take a look at that. Lulu also had a topping tail candle. Lulu's down a little bit pre-market, but coming up a little. So Lulu might be one of the weaker ones, and that one's only up 10%. Nvidia definitely very strong. And then on the flip side, I've got like I said, Nvidia long. I mean not Nvidia long. Netflix long. And Netflix had a great day, and Netflix is way up. So it's like magic. It's kind of magic when you think about it. But what am I doing? And we're going to teach this in class tonight because this is hot shit. But what am I doing is I'm taking all my years of experience and knowledge of understanding breakouts, trends, directions, reversals, topping, bottoming, consolidation, support, resistance, market, macro, economics, and then I'm applying, taking my tool belt out, and I'm applying selling credit spreads in those spots, and very likely ones, 20%, 80% probability of profit. And like way out, like some of those are just way out of the realm of where you would find support and resistance and still profitable. And then you leverage that, you multiply that, by a number of contracts. And it's just like Bob, it's just like what you're doing with your account in the sense that instead of taking an equally as large single option position that's much closer to where it could give me that kind of dollar win, I'm taking something that has a much smaller dollar win, 10, 20, 30 times smaller, but it's 95% to win or 85%, to be profitable, way out of the money, multiplying that by 10, 20, 30x. And yes, the commissions, which are 65 cents per contract, therefore proportionally take a little bit more of the whole trade, but very small, less than 10%, probably less than 5% of your profits then go to the commissions. But because of the whole probability thing and the percent, so far, I've done like 40 trades in the last week, and only three of them, I believe, didn't work out out of 40. If I'm taking 20%, 20 deltas, then 20% of them shouldn't work out. So if I take 40 trades, 8 of them, I believe, shouldn't work out. So far, 3 haven't. And that probably is due to me being able to read charts and have a lot of experience. Like I'm getting even a little bit more out of just raw probability. If you just went on raw probability, which you can do, you can just play it like a robot. You probably would hit those probability numbers. I'm doing a little bit better because with experience, I got some edge there. But you don't have to have the edge because, up, down, or sideways, so long as it stays above or below your strike, depending on how you sell it, you're making money every day. Crazy. And the risk is low. Yes, Bob. What? Oh, somebody's calling. Let's see if I can get that up on my phone. I think I know what that is. Okay. Yes, hello.
Good morning, Mr. Evan.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
So how's the floor? Is it coming out the water?
I'd have to take a look. Right now, I'm live on the internet, so I can't talk too much. But are you here, or you want to come by in a little bit? Or you want me to talk to you? I can give you an update in an hour or two.
All right. So because I'm planning to come there, but it
Okay.
don't make no sense if I'm coming there,
Yeah.
or if you want,
Yeah.
you call the management
Yeah.
and look at that.
Yeah. Okay. I sent a.
Let me know when you're finished.
Okay. I'll call. I'll send you a message in like 1 hour.
Or if you can do if you don't mind, you can send a message direct to management because it tell you that's management.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Oh, here, the one that's like at the condominiums.
Yes, yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll do that.
You can just let them know, oh, this one water coming out again from the floor. I think they come from the septic tank, so he can call the truck coming to take all the shit from the town.
Right. All right. Okay, Alfred.
All right,
I'll keep you posted.
all right,
Thank
all
you.
right. Thank you.
Bye bye.
All right.
AC leak at the house. All right. So what were you saying? Amazon's dropping. Thoughts on Viri? By the way, I have some puts on Amazon. Should I sell it or keep it? Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. See, I mean, like, that's so much better than somebody saying, "Can you tell me what you think of Amazon?" Give me your fucking situation or give me what you are trying to do. Then tell me to look at the thing, and then I can tell you what I think about that exact strategy. Because there's like at least 8 to 10 different ways that you can have an outlook on different stocks. Damn, I wish I sold a call credit spread on Amazon yesterday because, man, yeah, that was a very nice turnaround on Amazon. It looks like it's never going to be looking back at the 150 level. I think I looked at it and uh, the risk reward was not super duper good. But anyway, yeah, it's looking bad. But it's back to a support level, maybe 140. The 140 is kind of support level here. But I mean, Amazon is has sold off yesterday and in pre-market. All right, we got 11 minutes until the market opens. I forget if I took a trade on the market. Let me just double check. I don't want to leave something open while we're talking. No, I didn't. Okay, that's good. But I mean, I am in. That's one account. I am in some trades in my other account, as we were talking about. So yeah, the Qs are up on, I believe it was jobs reports this morning. Let me go check a quick look again to just give you the correct information. Jobless claims went up a little bit. Industrial production down. These don't seem like good numbers, and yet we went up. Import prices down. That's good. That strengthens the dollar. Maybe that's what is going on. And then we've got a bunch of Fed speeches going on today and tomorrow, and then building permits, I believe, tomorrow. So, well, the market has spoken though, and is moving up on whatever the data was. Initially, it's 50% retraced the move since 8:30. Data was released, and I can read it kind of both ways as far as the economic side of that goes. But trust the market. The market is number one. Trust your eyes, not your ears. You've been long on coin. Think it's time to take profits. There'd be nothing wrong with that. Again, you can get back in if it ever comes back down. What you think? Do you think it might come back down? Look, you should have been watching the market. Yesterday, the market was flashing a sell signal, a topping signal, let's say. And if you're in a bunch of positions, especially anything that is extended, and the market's flashing sell signal, you listen to the market. The market drives the whole rodeo, okay? So you should have if you're just in a trade for a couple of days or weeks, you should have took some profits probably yesterday, yeah. I'm in coin. I'm in coin. I'm in a put credit spread on coin at 88, and it doesn't have hardly any risk of breaching that at all by Friday. So I'm long coin. But here's the cool thing: is even though coin went down, I'm still making money because I sold the credit spread. So up, down, or sideways, as long as time marches on above your strike, you continue to make money. You don't necessarily see it that way reflected in the moment because of the Greeks, but the next day, once theta hits, it makes up for it. I mean, you have to divide theta by 24 hours in a day. During the 6.5 hours of the market's open, it's only going to decay, 1/4 of theta because the day is not fully over yet. So you have to factor in the fact if you went down a little bit, is theta going to make up for that? And if it is, then that's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, back to the markets. The market is opening in 8 minutes. Now, there's really nothing good to trade this morning. Maybe Wave D, but I would not get stuck in it for sure. But it's on pretty high R vol. Wave D, WAVD. Maybe. That's up to you guys. CRSP, CRISPR, was just granted the right to do some gene editing for sickle cell anemia in the UK and I believe another region. And that's huge news for CRISPR and just the beginning, just the beginning. Just think of it like Tesla 10 years ago. So CRSP, CRISPR could be an investment and a positional trade, a month or year long trade, or a swing trade and a day trade today. I mean, it's like a lot going on with CRISPR, CRSP. Definitely it's come up off the bottom, so it's already a good amount off the bottom. But as an investment, things are looking bright. It's only going to continue, to have more and more demand for its services over the next years. Anything can happen, but I don't think it's going anywhere. In 10 years, I think it's going to be at least, a big competitor in the marketplace, if not the leader, but big competitor. I think Cathie Wood is all over that one too, and you can't really trust Cathie Wood's performance over the last year and a half, but she's probably going to turn out to be brilliant. And in 5 years, probably she did make all the right bets. So everybody shits on her right now just because it was down like 80, 90%. But she's probably correct, and that's just the way the market goes when you're in a very volatile assets. Growth assets, extremely high growth assets, like Tesla, extremely high growth assets. That's just the way they behave. Just think of it like Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin goes down 90% and then it goes up 200%. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes. So CRSP could be a good buy here, investment wise, for long term. You have some puts on Amazon. Yes, you've been long on coin. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Well, we've got 5 minutes until the market opens. And we've retraced the move about 50%, maybe just a smidge more. So the market's remaining kind of testy on this new data. And remember, yesterday it put in a topping candle. It didn't do so on higher volume, which really would have put the nail in the coffin. But what I found in my experience, and in my not just experience, in my research as well, is that just because the top reverses not on higher volume doesn't mean it's not the top. It's just if it had higher volume, then we could say, oh man, that's got to be it. It just blew off, right? But today it could put in the bigger day. In fact, it could put in 3 low volume red days right now, and they would add up. It'd be soft, and there'd be pullback in nature, but of course it's a pullback. We're in a trend. Probably we kicked off a bull market. And if we're pulling back, maybe it is a couple days, and maybe it is on low volume, and maybe it is soft. But the fact remains, it's the end of the run, the end of that rally. And it gave that signal yesterday. And regardless of if it's high volume or not, it gave that signal. And you got to kind of take profits and position your capital and your ideas accordingly. And now, today, maybe will be either a struggle day like Doji, or a red day, probably, as we continue to break prior day's lows, which is something that hasn't happened. Like on Nvidia, it went on 10 days with higher lows. Even though the market did not, Nvidia went 10 days with higher lows. I'll pull it up. And then yesterday broke the low, and now it's down pre-market. I mean, that's it. So a lot of stocks are like that right now, and yet now they're opening and they're right at the precipice of breaking prior day's lows today, and that's going to happen. And so more and more momentum gets squelched. And yet some things are going to do well, and some of those things may be things that lead the market, and so you might not perceive that we're going red today on the market. That's why we might get a doji day or even some green. And yet, the number of new highs and number of new lows will probably start to wane, and it's going to start to turn negative. An alternative thesis is if we break yesterday's high on the market, it completely negates what happened yesterday, and the market would continue to run. So, you don't have to assume anything. You just have to understand what can happen, and when it's happening, know what's happening. You don't have to. I mean, forecasting is definitely about being on your toes and being ready to be wrong. I guess it'd be like, you're forecasting a hurricane, and then when a hurricane doesn't come, you're glad to be wrong, and you hopefully have planned to be wrong as well. Have a plan for every scenario. The more you know. Doom, 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 doom. All right, 1 minute and 15 seconds till the market opens. Bob, how old were you? Let's see. When G.I. Joe cartoon was out. 1180. Oh, you were probably like 26 or 25 or something, so you missed it. But yeah, GI Joe was an important Transformers. I would come home from school and I would watch Channel 5, and almost invariably every time would be some Chinese ninja movie, which was really fucking awesome, with all the dubbing and everything. Always a Chinese ninja movie, followed up by Smurfs. And then, you get G.I. Joe, and the whole after school cartoon thing was just the best. All right, 10 seconds to market open. Here we go. I'm basically going to be managing my stuff. So, to each his own. And here we go. Smoke them if you got them. Bing, bing, bing. There it is. All right, the market is reacting red right off of the open. Okay. It can be important to get a minute in here. 60 seconds of trading. We're 40 seconds in. The market is coming up around. All right. Market is breaking the 1 minute upside opening range. All right, so far it's acting kind of doji-ish. And I'm curious what it will do, because I might want to take a position. So watching. Okay, now we're heading back towards lows. A breakdown of pre-market lows could be a signal that we're going to sell off. Could be a little bit too early to tell. But, on the daily chart, it doesn't look too good. And then let's look at SPY, SP 500. By the way, the dollar is stronger than what we're seeing on the market here. And but it doesn't always correlate. Sometimes the market just wants to take profits. It doesn't matter. And the VIX, however, is bearish divergence, does show bearish divergence or bearish confluence. Anybody else in Williams Sonoma with me? They had good earnings response, and they're zooming. ER reaction very good on Williams Sonoma. I forget which spread I sold on that. Let's see. Oh yeah, way down there. The 142. It's at 165. So that'll be expiring all fully in the money. Yeah, it's the market a little bit hard to trust right now. I'm not ready to take a position yet. I might even wait, like a full 30 minutes on the market uh, to get some kind of an idea, to come up with a trade idea. If I don't see an obvious trade idea, I'll wait for it. And if it doesn't come, it doesn't come. Yeah, the market's still sideways. Seems like the leaders are taking us down. Let's take a look at Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is not making progress. I think today, Apple's moving up. It's like one of the almost only things moving up. Let's take a look at Microsoft. But I think, today's going to end up being not a green day or not a day of high demand, let's say. Microsoft's actually doing great. It's putting in another higher low at the moment. Microsoft leading. Another look at NVIDIA, which was a prior leader. But NVIDIA is going the other way around. So it's very mixed today. If you have any ticker you want me to look at to see what I think about how it's going to play out today, I'm happy to do so. We are getting some bullish divergence from the VIX now. Bullish divergence coming in from the VIX. People are taking longs on the market. Let's see here. Roblox. SMH, isn't that the semiconductor index? Yeah, I could take a look at that for you. Yeah, on Roblox I have the 37 puts I'm selling, and then it's at 39. I could probably also sell the 42. Let me see. At this point, I don't think it's getting back to 42. 42, 42, 42. Yeah, no, those are just too worthless at this point with just 2 days left. One day left. Thursday starts to get a little bit late for you to put end of week credit spreads on, but not for the market. You could do 0 DTEs on those market, but I'm not sure that I would do much with the market. Maybe I'll sell a new high call. So 388. Let's take a look at that. 388 on the Qs. 0 DTE. Selling the 388s. I'd have to take the 387, it looks like. Is that too? Yeah, I don't like that. But let's try see what the risk reward could be for the 388. It's about 10 to 1. Yeah, that's not sounding very good. The volatility is a little bit too low today because it's so tight and range contracted. SMH, yeah, let me take a look at that. One sec. And then I wanted to check SPY for the level of 451.50. 451. Okay, this could work. Let's see. That could work. I'm going to take a small position in that. No, not that small. All right, there we go. All right, so I sold a credit spread of 451, 452 on S&P SPY. How's NVIDIA doing? Let's see. And SMH. Okay, let's take a look at that. All right, NVIDIA is staying down. SMH, I believe that's a semiconductor index. Here we go. I don't know if you're still here, Will Trades, but here comes the SMH analysis by me. SMH actually stronger than NVIDIA right now is the index. So NVIDIA having a weak day, and it could bounce back on the fact that the rest of the industry is strong. But overall, yeah, I mean, it looks great. You know, I'd be looking for a pullback entry, perhaps. Yeah, I'm looking for pullback entry if you're going to trade SMH, and you definitely could. But it's acting pretty strong. But next couple of days perhaps could provide the next entry. You just basically be looking for any entry, whether that's a trend line resistance breakout, or a new high, or several days of pullback, and then finally a higher high than the previous candle. Something. You'd be looking for some kind of a signal, to go long. It's looking pretty good. All right, NEO. You wanted to look at NEO, somebody? Yeah, NEO does not look good. No, sir. You bet, you bet. Hopefully that gives you an idea. Some ideas here. I mean, the VIX is pretty strong bullish divergence right now. And the dollar's coming back up. The VIX broke out to the upside. The dollar's getting there. As far as strength goes, it's actually down, but that's relative strength. And it's inverted. S&P 500 moving up, and the Q's moving up. Going to hedge a little bit by grabbing, selling a put spread on the market. The 448. Soxel, same as SMH, and I was mentioning earlier, is very bullish. Looks great. Semiconductors are in play. All right. Yeah, I think, it's interesting. But if anybody has anything you want me to look at, let me know now or forever hold your peace. Otherwise, I'll see you in the group. Some of the big movers this morning are GNRC, quality movers. GNRC, let's take a look at their chart. Looks like possibly, yeah, since their earnings release, Generac, they've been bullish and moving up and consolidating and then moving up. The stair stepping is excellent, excellent type of movement. GNRC. They got Builder and EXPE also at the top of the list. Builder, BLDR, and EXPE. Okay, guys, I'll see you back in the group. Here you go. I think today is going to doji.